I'll just set a little bit of stage for today's topic. So so far we've been doing traditional SEO, and we have been reverse engineering our competitors. We've been fighting with our competitors for keyword rankings, for number of backlinks, referring domains. We've been adding schema to capture those SERP results. But what if we got to know that the real thief is not another competitor, but it's Reddit itself? So yeah, we all know that in 2025, community threads are outranking all the bottom of the funnel pages, eating up the whole buyer intent and even shaping AI answers. So on today's session, the $1 million question is Reddit quietly stealing our most valuable traffic and revenue? Let's find it out. Over to you, Malhar bhai.
All right. Thank you so much. Yes, episode 115, and Parth has already set the context, but just extending that little further and doing some stat padding here. And what I came to know as I researched on the topic is, say, almost 4% of transactional keyword traffic is owned by Reddit now. So it's a wake up call for all of us. And is it Google surpassing or Google shifting its gears, or what is happening? Right. Let's unravel that on today's topic, and glad for all of you to join. Folks who are on the recording, this should become little interesting as we go forward. I'll start with a little controversial take on it, and it's something like, did Google outsource trust to Reddit? And is that why Reddit is stealing your bottom funnel traffic? Let's get started from there.
So there are two answers to it. One, there's a deal between Google, which happened in 2024. We all know about that. But that can be undone any given point in time. We don't know the timelines. We don't know anything. Recently, we saw a little bit of drop last week from Reddit. The second thing is there's a statement from Google that what we have been observing is that all the decision making stage, all the bottom of the funnel consideration stage, pages, content, the users are more preferring content from users. Like UGC content is more being preferred, and that's why um, they cracked the deal with Reddit. So these are the two things that we can think of, and we don't have data in front of us that whether users were preferring content from other users, but we all know that Reddit has a very strong moderator community, and that's that's why, yeah, that makes sense. It's very difficult to spam. So far, I have not seen a scalable spam method for Reddit by any of the SEOs. But yeah, let's see how it goes.
So do we uh, say think of it in other way that, say, some of those transaction keywords which were once dominated by brands or affiliates is kind of moved to Reddit now?
Oh, that's a great question. Brand search, I don't think so. I'm not sure about, but um, affiliates are trying to move and trying to find a way around, trying to capture through Reddit by acquiring some Reddit threads, doing XYZ. Uh, but I haven't seen any case studies so far that someone running an affiliate empire has cracked the whole Reddit game. But yeah, I've seen some bits and pieces of here and there. So yeah.
Okay, nice. Isha, Deepak, your thought? Have you seen any example of brand or affiliate moving towards it, because I see few of them trying to do it in terms of building their Reddit community, or even putting certain threads where a product mention or a very subtle mention of certain things are there. uh, but again, like Parth you mentioned, I haven't seen something which is scalable so far. Isha, Deepak, your again experience or thoughts here.
Hey
Hey
Malhar
Malhar
bhai,
bhai,
hey Parth
hey
bhai.
Deepak bhai.
Hey. Hello.
Yes, yes. Audible now.
Hey everyone. So, uh, I think, as Parth bhai said, I agree with him absolutely. Um, but Reddit has eased out something. I think Reddit is not that strict now as it used to be a year ago. So, I mean, I myself have around 4 to 5 accounts on different devices, and so this is it.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, Isha.
Okay, couple of things. I mean, maybe my observation is still at a very new sense phase. But what I see, first of all, yes, like what Pat said, if we have to say one word answer of what your question is Reddit stealing the bottom of the funnel traffic and revenue? So the answer is yes. And I would say that it's not that it has it has done so this is something which has happened overnight. I mean, I'm seeing that this has started way back from 2023. It has just accelerated in 2025 24, like in the end of the 24 25, because if I remember correctly, in 2023, Reddit was not even the list of top 100 sites, and now it's almost top five most viewed uh, sites in the web. Second, if you talk about e-commerce and below the funnel observation, one thing which I realize is this is happening a lot, specifically in US. Not that much has been seen in India and other geo. In US, the dominance is way higher of Reddit compared to any other, because maybe even if you go up and I don't know if you guys go up and deep dive on the Reddit traffic, it's dominated by US. Uh, because like I am handling couple of projects, ecom projects in India. I'm not seeing that domination of Reddit in India. Maybe I mean, still Google has to be like Google is still less evil in India, maybe, and we are not still at the phase where the users are seeing that level of traffic. But see, and another important thing which I personally feel is um, Reddit is one of the website which is clearly using the Google EEAT psychology, because see, they're working on the trust. There's a real user voice which is coming. My only, I mean, because everything which is related to EAT is what Reddit is doing. My only concern is Reddit and Quora. They both are doing the same thing. It is just that Reddit is nowadays favored more. But if you ask me, it is favored more in US, not in other countries as much as it is in US.
Oh, nice. So if we take an Indian perspective of it, do you see an equivalence of a Reddit here, or do you still feel a branch plus affiliate is still leading the game at bottom of the funnel?
It's still brands plus affiliate which is leading, at least in the India space. I can see that.
Nice. Parth, Deepak, your thought here? Agreed, disagreed, or have a point of view?
I think I'm on the same lines. Yeah.
Agree, 100% agree. In Indian context, Reddit is not that relevant as of now, but I think it's gaining popularity among commons, and as it get popular, it will start dominating the search.
Oh, that's a nice point. So if my audience is probably a Gen Z audience, I guess Reddit should be part of the strategy now. Uh, do you think so?
100%.
Fantastic. Good start and lovely insights here. So let's go to the next one. And in terms of what signals uh, or updates in Google algo you think uh, made, say, some of those community driven content relevant when it comes to the bottom of the funnel searches? Is there a certain signal? Are there certain updates that you have observed which kind of say gives more relevance to community driven content?
Oh, that's a very clinical one, I'll say, because Google has been preferring uh, first-hand opinions. So if the brands have started giving enough importance to the EEAT factors, Google Quality Raters guidelines, um, first-hand experience thoughts shared by specialists, but people have really experienced a particular scenario and shared their real life experiences. That's what Google has been preferring, and that has been the signal, and hence Reddit. So if we look at things like earlier, the product reviews were only fetched from G2 Trustpilot for SaaS, but now if there are any product reviews posted on Reddit which has got a bit of engagement, it now appears on the search results page because it clearly shows authentic discussion, and even it has critical comments about that reviews on the same review which has been posted on Reddit. So I think so. These are the clear signals why Google's promoting it.
Interesting one. Isha, Deepak?
Mm, I think I'll second what Parth has said. This topic is still very new.
It's
I mean, not, yeah, it's very new to me. I'm here for learning and insights. But yeah,
no. That is right. That's what it is. The intent is, yeah, what has been our experience. It's because truly I believe that SEO at this point of time, everyone is scratching their heads in terms of what is working, and the old playbooks for someone it is still working, and then someone is saying, "Oh no, your old playbook is done and dusted. Refresh your playbook," but then no one knows what the new playbook is. So
yeah,
I
that's
guess
true.
yeah, everyone is in board, right?
But
So
while we were talking, I mean, and because we are discussing this topic, I was just like, like chat GPTing a lot around the same lines. And there's one crazy insight which I saw. Maybe we should highlight that. So according to, I mean, I was just trying to have a correlation between AI and Reddit, and there's an insight from ChatGPT which says that ChatGPT cites Reddit 176 more frequently than some expert sources in business, service, technology, consumer electronics. Everywhere it is reported more than 140, 130%.
wow, that's some. Then and what about other? Any idea of say other LLM tools, or do
Uh,
you rather other LLM tools and see, because sometimes I feel ChatGPT has become so mainstream, and we as marketers should look at multiple LLM tools.
I was reading somewhere that ChatGPT has dropped sourcing citing Reddit almost um, up around 80 to 90%.
So now, to
No, I think what I have heard is ChatGPT in general has reduced their sourcing, not just Reddit, because if you see their answers, they have reduced the way it was. It was in the middle they started sourcing a lot. Now they have, because now, so what? And another observation which I've also seen is that now all of these AI tools, what they are doing is they are, see, they are basically making their engines better. So all of this information, if it is being talked, it is been already programmed in their engine, they stop citing it.
no, that's true also, because I guess if once they have gained the knowledge, they don't want to utilize any third party as such. That is what I presume.
Yeah, that's that's my whole worry about. So I mean, what, like recently I was talking to somebody, so I said that the whole a client only we were discussing. So I felt that, see, right now the whole fundamental of search is changing. So when it's, because if there's an algorithm update, it's a different story. If there's an infrastructure change, it's a different story. Right now, search behavior is changing. Users are using various platforms to search, to come to a particular result. In this particular case, how a brand is using SEO, organic, like right now you talked about Reddit itself. If we are going about Reddit, and if I have to come up with a strategy of Reddit in an e-commerce brand, uh, how am I going to pitch that to an existing brand, and how I'm going to tell them the added value to it? All of these things are right now at a very, very nascent age. Yeah, Parth, sorry.
I agree to what you just mentioned, Isha. But I have one point to make here. Just think about it. OpenAI is into the market. It's early 2023. They know what is going to be their product roadmap. Google is a giant. OpenAI, there might be a lot of product engineers, whatever is going on, leadership. Now, SEOs have found their own ways to play around with Google search algorithm using their website, and there are millions of websites. Now, how does Google ground their results until the transition to AI thing? Whether it was search generative experience earlier, then AI overviews, and now AI overviews plus uh, deep mode. Okay, the only place where the moderation is very strict and is it lives up to the quality. It's Reddit. They cracked the deal. They're grounding the results for time being. So I would say Reddit is not a long term, like you shouldn't put all your eggs into Reddit. Like you shouldn't put all your bets into Reddit. Uh, just analyze where it makes sense. Keep on investing on it. And if you see some particular SCRP, yeah, you go heavy on it. You try to acquire, you try to play around with that in an ethical way. But yeah, don't look at Reddit for like next 3 to 5 years horizon. That is what I would say. They're just trying to ground the results and stop SEOs from managing or abusing the Google SERP because they don't have time to patch those results. Because there was this, forgot the term, like that overusing of Outlook India and all of that. What do we call? So yeah, they want to make sure that until they transition, because they are also figuring out their ads model. They don't want their revenue pipeline to break to Like they're still figuring out, experimenting with the ads placement in the new SERP changes. So this is my take. Happy to know your thoughts, but yeah.
No. So I was going to come on the same lines in terms of, see, is there more trust on Reddit threads compared to a brand's own landing pages or product blogs as such? Is probably the trust and authenticity factor playing a role here?
I don't think so.
I think so because end user can play around, can do a number of things with blogs. For example, we have seen so far a lot of WordPress developers injecting queries and hijacking high authority WordPress blogs, putting backlinks into it. So they have altogether stopped giving priority to any bloggers, any informational blog. So they don't have to go out there and look at things, monitor things, patch, all of that. They know Reddit is a very strong community of moderators. They're doing a good job. They need funding. Take this money. We'll show your results. Give us peace for next 24 to 36 months until we figure out our shit. And I think so there's a very simple calculation here by the search team leadership here.
No, but Parth, what you are mentioning, maybe it is from platform side. Like why maybe Google, AI, and other platforms are giving preferences to Reddit could be because it is authentic. They're, of course, they're valid. Like exactly like Wikipedia. You know that if you want to get, if the users are adding it, it is not a, like, the account must have done some effort, and that's how they are they're answering these questions. And also, it's that is from the platform side. But my answer was primarily from the user's perspective. That, like, is it that as a consumer, am I trusting a Reddit thread more than the actual brand and the blogs, or rather the affiliates?
That's a good one. And yeah, what I think is brand, obviously, but it depends. Brand is a subjective term because if it's a non-brand, obviously yes. But if it's an unknown brand or if it's an impersonification of the known brand, you never know. But at the end of the day, I think so. Any decision maker would want to know uh, what real users think. So Reddit is going to get some pie out of it. Like they're going to at least check out those third party thoughts reviews for sure. At the same time, Google has also prioritized those who have focused on brand building for last 3, 4, 5 years. If their domain, their content is relevant to their core business offering, yeah, I think so. Deepak has a point to it. Go ahead, Deepak.
I think the reason why people and also the search engine is, prioritizing Reddit, because if you have a product discussion on Reddit and somewhere else like a affiliate website is trying to sell you that thing.
Yeah. So I was going to dive into this, and so while you guys were talking, I was also trying to understand it in terms of where does some of those LLMs tool also play a role, because I as a user want to research for a product. Should I go to an LLM versus a Reddit versus an affiliate? And I am also presuming that some of those LLMs will still go and fetch content from a product page or affiliate page, etc. Also, right? So where does that differentiation again? I'm going back to the trust and authenticity part, right? So as a user, what exactly should be trusted, and for an SEO professional, what should be their strategy? Because should I have a plan for every platform? That okay, I should have, say, content on an affiliate blog, I should have a content on my own blog, and I should also plan to say put my content in a way that it is read by some of those LLM tools, and then finally I should also be part of some Reddit conversation.
So from what I think is, we know how LLMs are fetching information from multiple different sources, and we have a system to figure out, to reverse engineer. We have a system to monitor now. We have tools out there. So as we used to do back in the day for the CRP, what's being iteratively referred, let's be let's try to get those positions tight, get our reviews posted on Reddit if it's showing up. Any which ways, there are a bunch of studies that how frequently you have been. So the co-occurrence of your brand recall across the socials, it could be a mix of positive and negative, and it should have more inflow of positive conversations. But at the end of the day, how can your brand stay on the limelight? And what is the co-occurrence? What is the recency? These are the factors that is going to matter the most. Yep.
So I agree to that in a way, and because see, I was coming from another perspective in terms of okay, I start doing LLM optimization, but then which LLM should I optimize for, right? So which LLM should I reverse engineer? And I was purely going from a very traffic kind of scenario and looking at the stats that a chat GPT probably has almost 700 billion weekly active users, right? Compared to a Gemini, which is even at a monthly active number, it is almost half of it, right? So the number two tool is not even 50% of number one tool, if I have to put it. So do you think for Google it's a challenge and which they want to solve, and hence they are using Reddit as a probable place to pick up some of the trust slash authenticity part of the answer?
That's a very interesting question. The user base is on OpenAI, like OpenAI has got the most. But like, it depends on the audience, where the audience is. So if we research about the audience, for example, it's senior people based in India, the Meta AI on WhatsApp would be the right source. Like you try to figure out how to rank for particular queries on Meta AI, because what I have been observing, if it's there could be co-pilot and all those stuff. If it's developer related, yeah. So it depends on the audience research. One thing. Second thing, the other way to look at it, like how LLMs ground results. So we have seen a bunch of studies in last month or two that OpenAI, Perplexity have been fetching, doing a Google search and getting insights from Google search engine results page. So I think SEO is going nowhere uh, until and unless you're sure that you're confident that your SEO game is done by 70-80%. Don't just go into the maze of AI like it's a puzzle until you don't figure out your SEO stuff. Like if there are technical SEO problems, if search bots cannot crawl your pages, how would you expect the LLM bots to crawl? And all those problems, structuring content and whatnot. So yeah, I would say again, like they're referring to Google search engine results page quite often, and we have seen a bunch of studies in the last couple of weeks. So yeah, that's my take.
Um, Malhar, I just found something and I thought it's a good platform to talk about and then relate to what you just asked. So basically, Reddit and AI engine, or I won't say AI engine, I mean AI citation. So there's a stats which states that generative engines, how exactly generative engines are influencing Reddit. So Reddit is currently receiving over 12 million AI citations. Amongst that, of course, the top is ChatGPT, but after that is Google AIO, not the Gemini, and then there's Perplexity. So, sorry, the first one is actually Google AIO because obviously Google AIO, and second one is, so there's a 6.8 million citation which Reddit received uh, from Google AIO because obviously it's a search behavior. Then there is 3.2 million from ChatGPT and 2 million from Perplexity. So if I just see the difference between 3.2 and 2 million, so ChatGPT and Perplexities are almost on the same line. Gemini is hardly competing. It's only 2,000 in terms of that. So that means that, of course, Reddit uh, is citing a lot in AI world.
That would be great.
Put
Uh,
that group or here, whatever, wherever convenient. Yeah, Deepak, boli.
I think Google is prioritizing Reddit also to understand and develop Gemini in a better way. As we all know, Gemini is just weird um, in a chat like conversation, whereas ChatGPT is just over good.
Okay, nice. So let me go back in terms of uh, the what about the final content, right? Because that's what the basis of this conversation was also. Uh, and I've gotten into the visibility part of the entire narrative, and it's like what happens when a Reddit thread ranks above your product pages for all the converting queries or all the conversion queries. How do you manage that? धंधा रेडिट ले रहा है आप नहीं ले रहे हो.
Okay. So what I would say is it's a critical time for brands out there, and losing high intent traffic is not a great feeling at all. And competing with a giant like Reddit is uh, going to be not a great affair for sure. So it's more about, I would say, building your own community, whether on a subdomain or subfolder. Uh, have those early traction of UGC discussions, promote that through your email channels or XYZ channels. You get your users to discuss on your website, build a community. If you want to play a long-term game, and it's going to help for sure. You rather than you optimizing a lot on Reddit, create your own community. So that would be one of the things. So all those first-hand opinions, eventually your community would show up. You can use something like Discuss on WordPress, and there might be other tools for other platforms as well. And I would say, because that's a that's a research that's a part of research life cycle. If someone is considering to buy something, so you can create that journey. That if a user lands on your community page, then you move them to a comparison page, and then you move them to your final converting page. So make sure that the user stays in your ecosystem, your brand's website. So this is one thing that I can think of. Um, yeah.
Malhar, just now again, it's it depends on so when you say that धंधा Reddit ले रहा है brand नहीं, the question is like how, because Reddit पे भी कहीं ना कहीं brand ही आ रहा है ना, Reddit खुद को थोड़ी ना बेच रहा है. Now if I'm getting business via Reddit, it becomes another channel. So it depends on how we are perceiving it, and that was my actual, like, initially question, that how as an SEO we are considering these platforms. And I mean, of course, Parth said that, yeah, like the things are changing, but I still feel that the problem here is that a lot of times we are not acknowledging the fact that what change is happening. We are still stuck to uh, in our own bucket, that okay, Google is working, but all of these platforms have a very different mechanism. Now as a single person, your SEO expert might know how to outrank on Google, but they will not know how to outrank, or rather how to use Reddit as a strategy. They will not know how to how to explore the Instagram AI. They will not know how to ensure that your content is present on the AI. So it's like things are evolving. So now how you are how you are educating yourself, plus as a brand, how how much open you are in terms of experimentation, because that is also very important, at least nowadays. Like what is working, what is not working. uh, uh, Even in, like, for example, if for example as a brand, my below of the funnel content Reddit is taking care of, then maybe as a brand I should focus on Reddit, and instead of focusing on creating my own blog content on BoFu, I might want to create making those comparison answers there stronger, that if even Reddit thread is there, my brand visibility is coming from there. So in the end, if my business is coming from Reddit also, there's no harm.
My only point is SEO वाला बंदा एक छोटी सी जान है, कितना स्ट्रेस करोगे?
वही मेरा भी वही पॉइंट है, इसीलिए मेरा मतलब मेरे को वही लग रहा है कि जैसे एक टाइम था ना कि हम लोग बोलते थे कि आप एक ही पर्सन से सब कुछ करवाना चाह रहे हो, जैसे लाइक यू आर एक्सपेक्टिंग अ डिजिटल मार्केटर टू एक डिजिटल, हम लोगों का होता था ना एक डिजिटल मार्केटिंग, सोशल मीडिया वाला बंदा भी चाहिए, एसईओ वाला भी चाहिए, जो पीपीसी भी करता हो वो भी चाहिए। अब एसईओ के अंदर ये सारे प्लेटफॉर्म्स भी चाहिए, तो कैसे इसको हम कैसे इसको, सो आई फील कि, एंड दैट्स व्हाई कहीं ना कहीं डिजिटल मार्केटिंग डिटोरिएट भी होता जा रहा है कि लोग कुछ भी बेच रहे हैं। एंड व्हेन आई वाज राइट नाउ seeing the study of Dentsu, मतलब the whole reason that firm is getting closed is all because of this. वो लोग, and that's why the small, more centric agencies are coming up.
Oh, fantastic. So yeah, I'll just unmute you. Give me a moment. And the point I wanted to add here, and when I mentioned कि धंधा Reddit लेके जा रहा है, what I mean is your traffic, right? So say for an SEO person who has done the journey mapping and where a conversion was mapped to say the brand's own page, now that is getting moved to another website which probably they have not even factored in, right? So that that journey mapping itself is changing right now. So and that was basically the point, that visibility of a brand is probably getting diluted because there are multiple avenues now, right? They are channels for conversion, but at the same point, your efforts get diluted. Yes, Parth.
Yeah, I think so. Rahul has also raised. I will, like, Rahul, if you want to speak first, then I'll go next.
Yes,
Rahul?
so as you guys discuss कि रेडिट पे भी रेडिट से धंधा आ रहा है तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है, राइट? सो अभी अभी एक मैंने न्यूज़ पढ़ा था कि जैसे कि अभी एलएलएम्स हो, ये सब कुछ इंडेक्स यूज कर रहे हैं, राइट? ये गूगल के, बिंग के, लाइक एपीआई कॉल्स, देन वन ऑफ द न्यूज वाज दैट कि अलीबाबा की एक रिसर्च टीम थी जिसने ये एक वे फाइंड कर लिया कि भाई एआई को इसे ट्रेन कर दिया कि वो इंडेक्स खुद के इंडेक्स बना रहा है। मतलब उसको अब एपीआई कॉल्स करने की जरूरत भी नहीं है गूगल से और बिंग से। और दे हैव रिड्यूस्ड कॉस्ट $500 कॉस्ट से आई थिंक $70 कॉस्ट। सो उनका तो फायदा ही हो रहा है मतलब एआई ट्रेन करके। सो लॉन्ग टर्म में देखे तो आई थिंक सर्च इंजन के इंडेक्स और ये जो सब कुछ है मतलब बहुत ज्यादा लॉन्ग टर्म की बात कर रहा हूँ कि उनकी में भी कम जरूरत हो और कम्युनिटी की ज्यादा जरूरत हो। जैसा कि आपने हर हर एक चैनल्स पे कम्युनिटी बनाई वहां पे ब्रांड आप रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हो तो यह ज्यादा बेटर है ये ब्लॉग्स बनाने के बजाय। जो अभी ईशा ने बोला कि ब्लॉग्स बनाने से अच्छा है रेडिट पे कम्युनिटी बनाओ और वहां से धंधा लाओ। या
Yeah, now I wanted to add one thing. So consider Reddit as a very popular exhibitor. I'll just take example what I can share now. So Gujarat startup, this thing which is hosted every couple of years by the government of Gujarat and all the leaders. So either you go there and exhibit in that Gujarat startup, okay, and if you don't do that, you are losing. And if you do that, then also like मतलब आप रेडिट पे जाके बोल रहे हो आपकी ब्रांड के बारे में कोई बात कर रहा है यू स्टिल हैव टू ट्रैक कि भाई कितना वहाँ पे शेयर ऑफ वॉइस है कंप्यूटर्स के सामने है वहां से कितने लोग आ रहे हैं या फिर आप एक वो छोटा सा वर्जन जो गुजरात स्टार्टअप वाला हो रहा है यू स्टार्ट डूइंग इट एवरी क्वार्टर एवरी 6 मंथ्स एवरी ईयर कि आप खुद एग्जिबिट कर रहे हो आपकी कम्युनिटी को साथ में ला रहे हो कि अभी सिर्फ बॉटम ऑफ द फंडल लैंडिंग पेजेस कंपैरिजन पेजेस ऑल्टरनेट पेजेस ये वो जो भी डिसीजन पेजेस है उससे नहीं हो रहा है तो यू विल ऑल्सो हैव टू पुट एक्स्ट्रा एफर्ट्स कि आप अपना खुद का कम्युनिटी बनाओ खुद का इवेंट बनाओ वहाँ पे 25,000 लोग आते हैं आपके उसमें 250 लोग आ रहे हैं सो इट ऑल बॉइल्स डाउन टू दैट एंड आई एग्री टू व्हाट राहुल सेड कि आई थिंक सो इट्स अबाउट आप अपने कंटेंट से ऑडियंस बनाओ ऑडियंस से कम्युनिटी बनाओ एंड फिर आपका प्रोडक्ट बेचो द एसीपी मॉडल and it's going to be there. People are building their own in their own space. Healthcare में इधर उधर lawyers law वाले अपना बना रहे हैं and it's going to be फिर हर एक उसके लिए dedicated उसका होगा. So the cost, the operational cost, and everything will boil down to mini ecosystems, industry wise. Yeah, that is what I think.
Brilliant, and this is what I guess this community is about of getting everyone's thought together because we want to consistently learn something new and I guess that objective or a part of that objective has been achieved today where everyone is kind of sharing their experiences, sharing their thought, and uh, just taking this a little further in terms of all of you guys mentioned, right? They build a community on Reddit and then drive the conversion. So, for a brand, how do you measure that visibility loss, right? When Reddit is outranking them for a transaction content, because, right, all of us will agree that it is indeed a loss for a brand that the traffic is going to somewhere else, right? So, how do they measure that visibility loss?
I think so. The one line and straightforward answer to that would be for your bottom of the funnel pages, you go there and clearly see a drop in CTR and an increase in your brand mentions on Reddit. That's a clear signal that hey, people are uh, moving towards Reddit conversations where your brand is mentioned, and obviously Google SERP is your own bottom of the funnel brand page has gone down in the SERP. Reddit is ranking on top with your mentions. Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice answer actually. And so should there be a certain focus on say managing the technical SEO also better, or should it be more in terms of getting some of the structure, content structure also in a better way, so that, and I'm extending your thought, right, in terms of, say, not just Reddit, if there could be a traffic coming from LLM also at bottom of the funnel, what could be those chances?
I think so. Then it boils down to changing the whole behavior. If you build a micro product, if you wipe code something, or if you get something on your page which is super useful, which Reddit can't replicate. So eh, on your blog post, just try to think the blog post that was receiving traffic a year ago, 18 months ago, it's not receiving traffic today. How can you engineer that blog post in a way that no one can replicate? Like Reddit cannot have a calculator, a custom built calculator in their answer. So if you change that behavior, that uh, or if you have any utility from your content, if there are any statistical data points or research that keeps on updating every now and then. So if you look at, I'll just give a very odd example, but yeah, if you search for any, if you want to update your address on Aadhaar card, all of that. Earlier, it used to show an AI overview, but now it has stopped showing. Like it still shows the AI overview, but it shows after 2 blue link results. So that's how people are choosing. They directly want to access that Aadhaar card UIDI page, and they don't need an AI overview. So if Google SERP is also a machine learning system, so eventually over a period of time, but yeah, that's a lot of research and efforts for sure. But yeah, you win. You engineer your content, and you're winning that game. And at the same time, you are out of the rat race. That hey, you optimize your content, your computer optimize it a little better than you. So it's not just playing around with the text content, but it's about engineering your content in a way, and you put yourself like way ahead.
Okay, and I'm thinking aloud here, right? So if someone wants to experiment, or if they have already done it, let us know. Instead of Reddit, what if someone or a brand sets up their own Discord server and makes a Discord community and starts, say, all the community building stuff they that they actually should be doing? Just a wild thought here. Anyone probably has an answer to it.
Okay, so I have a case study for that, and it works wonders. The only difference is, as Parth said, like your tracking mechanism is different. Those traffic will be either. I mean, if I have to give you one word answer, I think we really need a good tracking ecosystem at this point of time. Because if in that case, our most of the traffic is attributed to direct. When you create the community across multiple platforms, of course they give you huge traffic. You can see your website traffic bombarding, but yes, that will not be attributed to organic. It will be attributed to the direct traffic.
That's a tough one. Yeah. Parth, Deepak, Rahul, or if anyone else has also experienced similar stuff. Okay, cool. No
It's
problem.
I would
Yeah.
say it's a great opportunity right now for a good tracking system, if it can come in place. The only thing Google was dominating and still dominating is because they have their own analytics tool also. But if there is some other tool which comes up with, or maybe rather than, I would say that if AI start coming up with their own analytics tool, and they give you a code and everything is free, then the world is going to change.
No, definitely. That's where my last question of the day was also coming, and that was more on the ethics part of it as well. And say from a brand's point of view, right? Can they, one is ethically and other is effectively participate on Reddit without sounding too promotional and still maintain the bottom funnel conversion? Is it really possible?
I think so. It's very difficult as a marketer, but it would be easier as a human. So joining conversations around your industry pain points as helpful humans is going to help on Reddit, but shouldn't join as a marketer. Ideally, we should solve problems, try to help, uh, try to show solutions there rather than pitching our products right away. So that should be a way to go. So I'll give an example. For example, if a SaaS tool product founder um, is answering how to set up their tool questions in, for example, a Reddit subreddit thread for the entrepreneur, it will help them build trust faster than running ads if that is showing up on a CRP. So yeah, it all boils down to how you are helping the community. You have to give more than you are expecting, and yeah, you'll see the compounding effect.
What do you call it, SEO activity or social media activity?
That is also an interesting one because that's what I said. Right? What do you expect an SEO person to do, right? वो SEO पे ध्यान देगा, affiliate पे ध्यान देगा, Reddit पे ध्यान देगा, Discord पे देगा, LLM पे देगा, क्या क्या करेगा?
Yeah, SEO's job is getting difficult and it's getting more deep. The role is getting very much diversified. Community driven approach is getting the front seat. At the same time, forget textual content, forget normal informational content. There is a lot of content out there. Just focus on adding value and what is the unique proposition. Like there are 1,400 different websites answering the same thing. And yeah, uh, so yeah, what is your unique selling proposition? How does your content stand out? How can your content not be replicated? So yeah, that's how it should be. I think with all of this, skyscraper technique is almost dead. Like technique by Brandine, like earlier it was someone has posted 70 tips, you go and post 101 tips. Skyscraper tip, this technique for content scaling. Yeah, Isha, please go.
Okay,
Yes, yes, sir.
yeah. So I was just thinking while Parth mentioned couple of things. So I think here again it's the exact same story of how big your brand is and how big your marketing budget is. If you if you are if I have to answer you, Malhar, your question that whether it is possible or not, I'm sure it is possible. That's why some Reddit marketing agencies are working, and they are of course charging you bomb, and they are ensuring that your brand is pretty much visible. Uh, but again, that requires a cost, and then again, The problem happens is that from so if it's a small or a medium sized business, it becomes very tricky to convince the founders, or rather at the top level management, of how exactly the ROI of that whole exercise is. But if it is a broader level I mean, I would say more of a bigger companies where they have a huge budget, marketing budget, and they spend a huge. They usually spend a particular amount on experimentation. They spend a particular amount on only awareness. So now, if the marketing team is smart enough that okay, 1 month maybe as an awareness budget, I want to spend on Reddit. I want to see how exactly that is happening. It depends. It purely depends on how big their budget is and how exactly they're experimenting things are. So it's again like, how much value, how much money you have to spend, and you are ensuring that your brand is present across the places, and you're ensuring that your brand is the one which is being first talked about. That's one. Second is either you become so controversial that people actually start talking about you, and then you create an actual user base. So that's another possibility.
I loved the second part of the answer, but nonetheless, it was wonderful, and thank you so much, everyone. I guess we are a little over the time, but always good to have this conversation among friends. Thank you so much. Lovely to have each of you joining. And yes, Deepak.
Do we have SEO community on Reddit? SEO Talk community?
We have our website. You can check out YouTube, and yeah, those are the assets that we have. I think so. We are having enough organic conversations on our on this Twitter chat, Twitter Spaces, X Spaces, and personally, I don't find any value having conversations on Reddit about the SEO community. But yeah, we can probably rethink about it or give it a thought. But yeah, I'm having some of the parting thoughts before we wrap up today's session. So it's safe to say that Reddit didn't beat brands with keywords, but it won with conversation. And as SEOs, our job isn't to optimize for keywords or pages anymore. It's more to one trust where the decision happens. And in some of the edge cases, it's not on Google for sure. So yeah, authenticity is converting more than optimization. That's working. So conversations. How can we make our content more conversational? How can we think about community on our own brand's website? All of these questions we need to ask, go back, do our homework, rethink about our strategy. And yeah, let's discuss next week if we have any thoughts around it. But thank you everyone for joining tonight. And it was lovely starting the week with the Sierra community with all of you. Thank you.